Artie Lang reporting from Fighting Jim Harbaugh. National Championship, University of Michigan, brand new, beautiful, gorgeous, $6.69 studios on the 33rd floor overlooking beautiful Lake Superior. Questions must be asked? Yes. C. How did old Vincenzo smell, sniff out, sidestep, and execute the perfect shirt on Bitcoin at the top? How that's the original question. How did Vincenzo know? This brings us to our next question. Who are the criminal gangsters and YouTube paid influencers, and how have they fleeced the retail traders with the orchestrated and manipulated dump of greater than 30% and Bitcoin threatening to fall below $40,000 and make a run at $20,000, along with Jackie, the joke man? Martling, Artie Lang, 600-pound alcoholic. Can I implore and beg you to smash, subscribe, super chat to support channel like, and share far and wide to keep the truth, education, integrity, and information flowing peace and love to my beautiful audience.
Subscribe down below, bell notification. Good 17th of April, if we can believe this already. Scrolling down the cryptocurrency daily coin update on an overcast, rumbling ocean wave rolling, looking high cumulus clouds streaming in from the west and northwest behind a beautiful early spring, approaching mid-spring cold front after a seasonably mild day yesterday, with the current temperature is 66 degrees J at the Central Illinois Airport in Bloomington. And I'm your number one XRP, cryptocurrency, and gold and silver bullion insider here on social media and exclusively on YouTube, to keep you out ahead of the criminal gangsters and market manipulators that have orchestrated and manipulated and executed flawlessly a pump to maximize the pain to the retail investor by knocking down and bankrupting lending platforms, by facilitating the pump, by paying promoters to push content at sophisticated and orchestrated precise times to maximize the hype train, and then in turn maximize the profit for the manipulators and the one percenters on the inside to walk away with all the retail fucking money, right? And that's what's been going on here, and that's where we're here to sidestep and audible and manipulate and overt and subvert the manipulators and subverters, right? So if you look at the Bitcoin price, is down 5.26%. It's been down more than 6% today, but it's trying to bounce back slightly, gather some support. BITI, the Bitcoin short, as you know, I am the XRP insider and cryptocurrency number one insider that did short the top. We placed the short when Bitcoin was at $70,500-ish, about 5% off its peak when it was making that rounding top as the buyers or the bulls become exhausted, and the sellers or the bears were going to take over the market. So Vincenzo bought 250 shares, right? And we bought them at about $7.68 or $7.72. I don't know, somewhere in there, right between that 4 cents. And we're up about 11 to 12% right now, or 10%, depending on the exact time you look at it, because the price is obviously volatile. But old Vincenzo is the insider that understands the manipulation and the orchestration and the facilitation by these criminal gangsters to maximize the retail traders' emotions to get in and out of trades, and for them to maximize the potential of the ultimate pump to where they make their money. So old Vincenzo sees signs of the short and it enters at good buying opportunities to give him some room to watch the market and to not panic when Bitcoin pumps like it did 5% yesterday, or over the weekend when Bitcoin from a swing low to a swing high pumped better than 10%. Old Vincenzo had a good enough inside information and understanding and education and of what goes on in this market to get a good enough buy to now there's no way we lose money on this trade, and we have time to maybe let it play out the potential and have a very, very big move and a very, very nice return. But you can see the Bitcoin price did finally do what we thought it would do, and it was telegraphed in the 2-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame, the daily time frame. We were going to break that 65,000, initially dip back below this rising channel, up trending in blue from left to right. And you can see we did that on the wick right here. See that first wick right there? We'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see it, that wick in there. We did it, and then we had that hook nose Jew bearish reversal recovery right there we knew that was going to happen, right? We'll zoom in here a little bit, make it a little bit easier. You see that? So we knew that this hook nose Jew bearish reversal on the flip end would come back up to retest, and that's just normal market maneuvering and market manipulation by the retail traders not understanding what's actually taking place, and buys that were stacked on this support level, right? And then that wears out, those get exhausted, and it's very, very gusty winds of 50 miles an hour, or about 40 today, but because it's in central Illinois, there's no wind advisory. Then it comes back up, gets rejected, and then we start to move to the downside, and then we start to see if we don't have a flush. And we did have a flush, and a couple of things happened in the flush, right? After we bounced and traded a couple of times and got rejected by the overhead moving averages that were coming back into play, we flushed the major trading level back into this, and then we had a nice pump in volume, right? Just like when we broke a couple of key levels here, we had a nice pump in volume, and that's very bullish, as we might be breaking and entering this formation again like we've been talking about. And now what you would normally see at some point is a couple of things are going to happen. You see in the hour time frames enough time. We'll zoom in here in the hour time frame. You're going to start at some point, you're going to have to come back and back test this, right? You're going to have to come back and back test, and then either come back on top and hold it as support and put it as a fake out and a fake break back into this rising channel, and then we start to come back up towards maybe potentially the $66,261.69, or you're going to get what I think is eventually going to happen. You get rejected, and then you start to trade on down and confirm a break back in to this overall macro time frame pattern that we've been in with the gusty winds for quite some time. And you can see just how long we've been in it. It has been a very, very long time, since about the great dump where we entered into it all the way back here in about November. Yes, remember Jabroni Killer, $2.69. The best value. I beg and implore you to go find a better value than that to help support a channel of your favorite truth and integrity filled cryptocurrency education and information. But that's about where we entered into this rising channel, and now 2 years later we are in April, middle of April of 2024, and we are threatening to break back into this. So if we break back into it, there could be a very, very violent push to the downside, and that is why I did enter the short, because usually Bitcoin pumps and then Bitcoin dumps. Obviously, y'all know that. We've had a triple top from the mountain double top 2 years ago at that start of the bear market, and now we breached the all-time high, but it essentially put in a triple top, and now we put in a couple of red candles in the weekly, the monthly, the daily. They've been stacking up, and that's bearish. And if we break back into this rising channel, we're coming down to 49,259.69 cents, but it's uptrending depending on when you hit it. And then I feel you might break that and come back down into near where the 200-day is in the weekly, and where it would be in the daily, somewhere in this red trading zone. And the red trading zone is the VP volume indicator. When you're above it, you're bullish. When you're below it, you're bearish. And you usually like to initially bounce when you come from above. So if you do break this line right here, this the rising channel that we're talking about, there would be a pretty big fall all the way down, probably to the top part of this red trading zone, around $37,844. But our target would be $36,669.69. And that's something I'm watching out for, and you should be paying attention to and understanding exactly where we are in the market cycle, because usually leading into the Bitcoin halving, about 8 months to a year before the Bitcoin halving, usually you come off your bear market low and you have a nice pump to signal, hey, market people, wake up. Nice big pump, right? Could be a much 50-60% from its low, bear market low. Then it relaxes about 3 months and into the halving, and then within about the 30 days to the halving, like 30 days from Saturday coming up when the halving should take place, you should crash. And then into the halving, and after the bearish sentiment continues for a couple of months, and you level off, formed a rounding bottom. And then when you get about 6 months out from the halving, post-halving, you usually start to have nice significant returns, and that's usually when you pump into the next all-time high and continue into the euphoria for about a year, right? But this did it completely different. It pumped into an all-time high several months before the actual halvening, and then we've been in a bear market now, or a bearish not a bear market, but a consolidation, profit taking, and sell off, leading into a potential bear market now as the halvening is going to take place. So everything's like worked backwards, right? So we got to see where this goes. And in the XLM price, we know the 7.8 cents is where we're looking at to see if we don't get some buyers or the bulls to come back into here. We're coming down to the top part of that orange trading zone, which is the last line of defense, aka get my shit together to the shit house. If you want to get bullish, the bulls got to get back in and get over that 12.5 left to right running orange line, right? And then if we go to everybody's favorite, yours favorite, my favorite, the banking community favorite, we are in the similar area now as the Bitcoin, except we're ahead of the Bitcoin because the Bitcoin's at the top part of the rising channel, just threatening to break, and just did break back in to it. Up here where the third arrow is, right? Bitcoin's up here, entering back in because it was sitting way up here. Now it's threatening to come back in. XRP is threatening to break out of it, so it's acting quicker than the old Bitcoin. And if XRP breaks out of this, you come down to 37 cents, which we know is the mean of all this trading that took place back here. Look at the videos of the past couple of days to figure that out. And watch that. They were very educational and informational and super simple and easy to understand and watch and listen to. And then if we break that, which I do think we are, also in those videos, it'll diagnose and sniff out what this bear flag is. This rising channel that we were in right here. Yes, this rising channel that you see right now, this one right now and right here, was the flag. This was the flag pullback there. Watch these videos, and that tells you why that was a bear flag and how it played out over about a year plus span, and why I think this technical target is going to come hit. It was delayed, not denied. And I think when this breaks down, if it does break down, the technical target is a quick capitulation, breaking through the VP volume indicator in red. That's between about 31 cents and 29 cents to 31 cents. I feel you would dump through that, and you would have a massive 50% capitulation down to about 16 cents, and nobody would see that coming. Industry exclusive, old Vincenzo staying out ahead of the market to fleece, heist, and shice the market manipulators, the criminal gangsters, and the YouTube hustlers, because we told you back here what likely happened after we got into here is XRP and XLM front ran the Bitcoin price to the all-time high, and the rest of the market, with the manipulation of the judge, the manipulation of news, and orchestration executed, bombed on you flawlessly. Fleece, heisted, and shiced, and you like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love, bell notification.